Right, so today we are discussing autism. What does it mean to be autistic? The program is Demystify It. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I have Hillary with me in the studio. We're discussing autism. We're going to break it down for you to understand the technicalities of autistic patients, autistic children. Hillary, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So what does it mean to be autistic?
Yeah, autism is a neurodevelopmental condition.
What do you mean, neuro?
When they say neuro, it means brain.
The brain, okay.
So when the brain, maybe when during the formation or development, maybe there's some parts that with some issues or damages or injuries with it, it can give the autism. It can put the boy or the child on the autism spectrum.
What will be the cause?
So autism actually is a spectrum, okay? And the spectrum is that there are so many things or symptoms or behavior or either physical or behavioral patterns or things you will show or do that shows that the brain is on the spectrum, because physiologically the brain has some damages or some injuries.
What may have caused that
and
damage?
it's impairing its like normal physiological function.
Are you ever saying that autism is abnormal?
I'm not saying it's abnormal, but there are some. If you are to use the standard behavioral pattern, you see that they do some things which is not
Normal.
Which is not normal.
So
But it's because the brain is
damaged.
there are some issues with the brain.
What
Maybe
caused
damage or
yes.
injuries with the brain.
Yeah, what may have caused that damage?
So it is impairing the brain from doing its normal physiological function.
Yeah, but I'm saying that what may have caused that damage to,
There are so many factors.
like,
One, it could be that it's genetic. Maybe when the baby was forming, the child was forming, there are some genes that did not code well. You get it? Especially when it comes to the brain neural system. Or it could be also that there's is it that when we talk of health, health is totality of the person, not one particular thing. So even let's say if you have a problem with the brain, you're supposed to treat the brain and the entirety of the person,
okay,
and all the other organs or system. I get it. So you're looking at autism, you realize that apart from genetics, there's also what we call methylation pathway, or whereby the system, the human system, is not able to have a good detoxification pathway. So when that happens, it also impairs the brain's function, because you should know that God made it, all of them are interconnected. You see, the brain controls all the system, and the system also controls the brain or gives information to the brain in some areas. You get it? So when there is a detoxification issue, also can also have some effects.
Okay, so
then there are other factors too. Others too could be exposure to some heavy chemicals.
okay, you mean while the mother was pregnant, she was exposed to some chemicals?
Or when the baby was born, the child was exposed to some heavy chemicals.
So can someone
The
be
environmental factor
autistic
of it.
after being born? Like
Yes. Some
even
people develop it after birth.
even at 2 years.
Yeah, they show the signs.
So the baby will be normal, and then at 2 years or 3
you
years
see that this
can
time
be autistic.
there are some signs showing.
Is it curable?
It's reversible.
It's reversible.
Yeah, it's reversible. As I said, in medicine, we don't make claims of cure.
Okay.
So it is treatable, or we can improve it.
Okay.
And so that this time, if let's say the child was on the, let's say, the worst scale, maybe 10, this time we can bring it down at about at least 5, 4, for it to be in a neutral. So we improve the condition, so we can treat it or we can reverse it.
So how do you know? How do you determine that this particular child is autistic? What will be the features to tell you that this?
One of them is mostly what they usually use. Listen is what we call the communication.
Okay.
As the child is growing, we say 2, 3 some of the children show the signs early. Some too show it later on. So let's say 2, 3, and the child has shown the sign. You see that one, the child will not be talking.
Right.
When you speak to him, he will not respond.
Not respond.
Then also, sometimes or mostly, they don't have eye contact.
They don't engage.
They don't engage in eye contact. You that are talking to, be the parent, they will not look at your eye, your face. You are talking and they are somewhere. They always going around, walking around or moving around. Sometimes you don't even sit down. It's very hard for them to sit down like this. So we call that one irritability or sometimes or hyperactivity, attention deficit. And some of them too, they are highly hyper. So we call those ones attention deficit hyperactive, hyperactive disorder. You get it? So that is some of the signs that they show. And all is traced to the brain.
Okay, there's a problem with the brain.
The brain, mostly the brain. And secondary, some other aspect of the human physiological system that is also not doing well. One could be the methylation pathway. One could be the gastrointestinal system, because you see how God made the human system. The gut we see is connected to the brain.
Really?
Yes. Bilateral connection here and here. So, and every second it is talking to the brain. So mostly there are sometimes when you put here and it detects this person, it will give feedback to the brain, negative feedback to the brain, and you'll be acting in some weird way. Or say me is abnormal. Why are you doing this? No, you're not like that. Why? You get it? So me, I always tell people that even we that sometimes we say we are normal crampo. We sometimes express a sentence of the spectrum.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
And also, because I also treat glaucoma, or I focus on brain stuff, people with glaucoma, especially advanced stage of glaucoma, they also show signs of autism.
Really?
Yeah. They have issues with constipation. People with advanced glaucoma, they have issues with constipation. They have issues with sleep and anxiety, high-level anxiety.
So you're saying that autistic patients have issues with constipation?
Yeah, they have issues. Most of them have issues with constipation. Then also anxiety.
They're always anxious.
And sleep.
They cannot sleep.
If they sleep, their sleep is not normal rhythm like you and I. And unlike us, we have the normal circadian rhythm. They sleep maybe 7 hour, 8 hour, morning, evening. With them, they sleep morning. The evening, if they will sleep, and next maybe 2 or 3 a.m.
Don't sleep till the next day, 2 or 3 a.m. Because of?
Because the brain system is not having a uniform functioning.
Okay.
It's synapses. It's the synapses. So the feedback is not getting because of damages, because of injury. So the brain is not able to. But some people, people learn, people read. Some people use different pathways to still have the communication with the brain, even though there are damages. And there's a pathway like that.
So can a person who is autistic become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer?
Yes, they are mostly they are gifted people.
I mean the doctors, the autistic patients who become doctors are the gifted ones. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that most people with autism, they are gifted people, because if you look at a lot of inventors, most of them were autistic. Even Bill Gates is autistic. And I've also told you that, you see, autism and Kasa, sometimes it can even happen that as you were born, it didn't show the early signs. But as you grow later in life, some issues could happen to you and it can also trigger it.
So it's not spiritual?
No, it's not spiritual. It's basically pathological. The body is not in what? Ease.
Yeah, of course.
So it's chaos. Simple.
So they are gifted and they can become very useful citizens.
Very, very useful. You see, autism children, cerebral palsy children, or special children, apart from those with Down syndrome, it's Down syndrome that their own is very, very difficult because with them they have what we call intellectual disability, whereby the brain system, even that on Crown Program, based on researches I've done, you can still help them by improving the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex of the brain.
It's taking me deep into your field.
The whole thing that's why I'm saying that there's hope for them. If now there's hope, unlike first, now there's hope to improve their condition. So autism children they are good. If you're able to help improve their, because you see, this is the pathophysiology of their condition. The brain, some part of the brain, there are some injuries there. So because of that, it is not helping making the brain to have a uniform physiological function. You see, because you see that if you look at the brain, it has different lobes. You have the prefrontal lobe, we have the temporal lobe, we have the parietal lobe, we have the occipital lobe. What the parietal lobe does is it integrates all the sensories. Okay, but because of some damages, it could in the part of the brain, the integration is not uniform.
Okay.
And see, I say, in Sioni, and a bank, river bank, just what the bridge is to, I'm saying with me,
You can cross it. Okay.
across it. Thank you. And see, the cross the barrier, which is a synapses, there's damage there. Don't you mean cross it, formation from this, so that I'll be able to maintain what we call the physiological stability of the brain.
Okay, so
the brain is not actually doing some part of it. Some part, especially mostly the communication, the part for communication. You get it? And because of some damages, or because of this, and also because of their some damages, mostly they become more excitatory. That is, you see, the brain also has what we call the inhibitory and the excitatory mode. They also have to be balanced so that there will be calmness.
Right.
Because if those modes are not balanced, it can't be calm.
Interesting.
There will be anxiety or agitation or irritability. So, mostly because of the damages, mostly put them into the state of excitatory. So, you need to also balance it. And by balancing it, you need to gradually repair the damages. The brain system is very complex.
Complicated. Right.
Very, very complex.
So so autistic children can be normal.
They can be reversed to much improved states and behave fine. Because I have a case of a child, he was having Down syndrome and autism.
Okay. Both.
They are both.
How do you have both? How do you?
Well, it is like the hand. So it's everybody or everyone in his or her predisposition. And some could even have plenty problems.
So you can have
in one.
Down syndrome, cerebral, and autism at the same time.
Oh, it's possible. It's possible. Because in this
Have you encountered it?
No, I have not encountered someone with autism, Down syndrome, and cerebral palsy. But I've encountered some patient with autism and Down syndrome. Yeah. And the boy was not able to sit down. He was highly hyper. Yeah, he was highly hyper. But my treatment was able to bring him down. So now he's calm. Now he's able to. He's fine.
Okay.
It improved some aspects of him. As I said, I don't cure the condition, but I
improve upon it.
So that at least if at first he was hyperactive, this time he's calm.
Right.
Becomes calm and listens to instructions. So that is what I do in helping improve the condition or the quality of life of autism children and also cerebral palsy as well. But I see with autism, it mostly affects their communication.
Okay.
So some people might term autism as a communication disorder, but actually it's a brain issue. Yes, because for us to talk is the brain. Yeah, so you need to improve the brain. Then also, when you are treating autism or improving the quality of life, you need to target the brain pathway, the cardiovascular system, the heart pathway, and the gut pathway. These are the key pathways you need to target. Yes. By targeting the brain pathway, you also target the brain endocrine system as well.
Wow.
Yes. These are the key areas that when you target, it means you are actually fighting it or trying to reverse it and improve the condition of the person, reducing the rate or the degree of the spectrum to minimum, so that the person can do things in a normal
right. Interesting. So it's been interesting talking about autism and these what do you call it, medical terms that Hilary has exposed us to this day. I think it's encouraging to hear that autistic children can be very useful to the community, and
they can be helped, they can be reversed, but the problem with the parents is that they don't know the right way to go. You see, solutions are always there for problems. You see, because as you know, good and evil is the basic or the foundation of creation.
Right.
You get it? So in as much as there's good or there's bad, there's also good. So as far as there's disease or the sickness is there, solution to it is also there. It's also there. But the problem is how to find it. That is where the problem is.
So that means that you guys have made yourself unfindable. Is that the case?
No.
Who are there to assist those who are in need?
It's also the system. You see, some people believe that, some have that mindset that nothing can be done. I get it. Oh, they've told me this, nothing can be done. But it's only those who say that, okay, let me try other alternatives. And there are those, sometimes I meet them, by the grace of God, they see their children improve. As I said, I don't cure it, but at least improve it for them.
So if somebody wants to get their kids who are autistic to meet you, how they reach you?
Yes.
Do you have a phone number or anything?
Yes. That's my number is 055
055
80 84 635
635
055
055
80 84 635
635.
Another one is 027
027
780
780
2127
2127
027 780 2127.
Okay. Do you have any last words for those watching?
Yes. So what I'll tell them is that if they have special children who are having autism or cerebral palsy, you see, autism is mostly when speech is not there. But it's not only about that. They also have hyperactivity. Some of them also exhibit hyperactivity. They are not able to sit down. A whole lot of wahala. I mean, a whole lot of things. Irritability, they don't sleep, and a whole lot. So when you have a child with autistic condition, you can come to me and I can help with my natural or alternative treatment to improve their condition, for them to be much improved, much better, for you to be a parent happy that at least your son is now much better and is doing normal things now.
And then to associate with his mates.
His mates, yes. Because this child, as the boy, I said like this, now he goes to regular school.
Okay.
But first he was going to special school, and when he goes, he doesn't even sit down. For you to, if a person is hyperactive, how can you help? You can't help him. So one of the key pathways to autism treatment is to stabilize them, calm them. When you calm them, the others will follow gradually. And so mostly I do it for a year, because it is not just so easy to achieve progress for them. No. I do it for a year. Some will come with 1.5 or even.
Is it expensive?
Yes, because of the number of years, the year duration treatment. Because autism, if somebody tells you 1 month, 2 months, please no. In fact, this thing should be from 6 months to a year to 1.5 years, or even 2 years. Because some of them, especially those who are aged, basically those who are 18, 14, 15, with them they need to do a year and half if possible.
Right.
a year and a half, if possible. But those from 20 going, there should be 2 years treatment. But when they are young, let's say from 2, 3 to maybe 10, that one, or 12, that one, they can do 6 months to a year. Fast.
Okay, that's fine.
They're going very fast.
Thank you very much for watching. See ya.